All right, we are live. It's good to be back doing an IRL stream. Haven't done one in a little while. Hanging out down here in the workshop. Uh, yeah, got some cool stuff to show, and then we're gonna build a model kit I picked up in Japan. I have you'll be seeing a lot more of this. The Tamiya Lunchbox 4-wheel drive, the Mini 4-wheel drive. This is they do a lot of racing of this particular type of kit that they sell in Japan and in America. It was much more popular in the 80s when these were new still. But yeah, when I was over in Japan last year wrestling, I stumbled across a few of these and was real excited to pick a couple up for myself, and I'm excited to build them here on the stream. I am real quickly going to do a couple quick just a couple quick settings changes here. Hey, Bobby Gilbert in the chat. Welcome, my friend. Always happy to see you. Just gotta... There we go. Just had to make one small change there, because otherwise this camera was going to give us the green screen effect all night, and that was going to really mess with things. All right. But I'm so psyched to be here doing a live stream in the workshop. Haven't done an in the workshop stream in a little while, and yeah, I'm excited to do this because I've been sitting on this for over a year now. I picked these kits up while I was in Japan wrestling last year. I actually have two of them. I have this one, which is the Vanessa's Lunchbox, which is very much based on the Rollin' Thunder monster truck from back in the day. We'll talk about that more in a sec. And then I also have the Nissan King Cab, which I'm not going to be building just yet because I'm going to do something special with this, with the 3D printer. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in the stream as well. Bobby Gilbert wants to know, is there a toy of the stream? Boy, am I glad you asked, because it's going to be the same toy that was the toy of the stream last night, but I didn't get a chance to really show it off properly. Those who've been to the stream before know that I did a little project making a Toxic Crusaders 1990s Playmates figure. Did the painting and everything. I'm not going to be playing any games tonight, Bilby. Tonight I'm in the workshop. But I am very excited with how it turned out. I have my my finished Toxic Avenger figure, and I'll go to the close-up cam and see if that actually we'll see if we can get a better view of it here. But yeah, Toxie came out great. I'm so happy with how he turned out. All the little details. You know, taking my time doing the painting, it was really worth the effort. And what's really nice is he looks really good next to toys of similar scale from the same era. I kept a few out here. I have this is one of the lesser-known villains from the Ninja Turtles series at the time. And I also have from the Dick Tracy series at the same time. I have a Dick Tracy. And they're all very similar scale. They look great together. I mean, you know, to the casual onlooker, you wouldn't know which one's a real toy and which one is one that I 3D printed, which is pretty great. And I will say, yeah, fully posable, really moves, and the joints are all nice and tight. I'll switch back to the other view and see if it's better that way. Yeah, you can almost see the desk here if I tilt you down a little. Yeah, I can, in fact, he will stand, which is great. So he's going to look great next to the other toys as well. Yeah, very excited. He's clear coated with a semi-gloss, so he looks like the toys from back then. I do still have a little bit more work to do, and I'm gonna switch to the other camera again so that we can get a nice close-up here. The work that I have remaining is I do still have unpainted and unfinished his accessories. This is his bandolier belt printed that'll go on him, as well as his shield, which still needs to be painted. There's a sticker that goes in the middle of this that I'm going to have printed. He's got his little slimy guy sidekick here, which you can't really see all that well until he's painted. Nickabean says that came out so good. I'm so happy with how it came out. Got his mop, his preferred weapon, which I'm happy to report will absolutely. I tried it out before the stream here. Absolutely goes in his hand. It's pretty awesome. Along with some little toxic hand grenades that all go with them. So yeah, very excited with how he turned out. I think he came out looking great. Joey Nails in the house. Welcome, my friend. Coming in hot on a Tuesday night. But yeah, that's Toxie all finished up. Again, I can't stress how happy I am with how he looks like he goes with other figures from the era. I had him on the shelf next to my Perry figure and next to a Sid figure from the Hasbro series. They look great with those. So pretty psyched with how that came out. And eventually I'm going to, because these all get one solid color, they end up the same sort of orange that he ended up. So with these, I'm going to prime them up and then probably do a custom mix of the same orange from Toxie here. And then all of that's just going to go into my airbrush because it's just one solid color. All right. Thank you for reminding me to get to that, Bobby Gilbert. All right. So what we're working on today is this. This is the Tamiya Lunchbox as part of the Mini 4-wheel drive series. They purport to be a 1/32 scale monster truck. You can probably see it a little bit better if I hold it up. I don't know. It might not focus on the text that close. But it's a very similar scale to some other toys that they've come out with over the years. And I'm excited to show some close-ups of these. I know Bobby Gilbert will be psyched. There's a couple other viewers that will really like these. This is Gravedigger from the Monster Wars series. That's roughly, I believe, a 1/30th, or I mean, they might have even said at the time that this was a 1/24th scale. That's being pretty generous. It's a bit smaller than that. It does open up, and there's a little cab on the inside where you can put a little guy. I do not have the guy anymore, but there are some people who've done 3D scans, and at some point I'm going to print him and paint him and have my own little guy that'll go in there. But he was basically sort of like a little skull warrior that would go in there. So that's one I'm really happy to have in the collection, but it's a very similar scale to what this is going to end up as. And I'll hold up some parts and we can kind of compare as we go. But like I said, this is a 4-wheel drive truck. You put some batteries in it. It's kind of got one setting. It either goes or it's off. And when it goes, all 4 wheels drive. It runs with just 2 AA's. I've got a couple so we can make sure it does work. Because, like I said, these kits are from the 80s. They're still selling them in Japan. Like it wasn't hard to find them. But yeah, we're gonna break that open in a sec. I wanted to show another very similar. This is Bigfoot from the Hot Wheels Bigfoot Champions series from 1990 as well. This one does not function currently. I need to do a little work on the electronics, but it's got a little switch here. That's sort of the on and off. When you pull it back, it goes. When you put it forward, it doesn't. And when you squish the back down, it would make an engine revving sound. And it's also 4-wheel drive. And yeah, the amount of hours that I spent with this, and they had a different version of it playing in the sandbox when I was in 2nd grade. Yeah, just hours and hours the summer that these came out. But I never had any of these, and I always wanted them because this particular truck specifically is one that has a great story. You see, it's labeled as Vanessa's Lunchbox, and it has this little cartoon of itself driving on it. For those who know monster trucks pretty well, it's going to look very similar to a real-life truck called Rollin' Thunder. Rollin' Thunder was in the first ever televised monster truck side-by-side racing that was on a Return of the Monster Trucks, which devout Perry viewers will know when I was 2 years old completely changed my life. You can still watch it today in its entirety on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. But that truck had one of the first die-cast monster truck toys made of it in the Matchbox Superchargers series. These are the sort of Hot Wheels basic Matchbox scale 1/64th monster trucks. And you'll see, if I'm not sure if it's going to focus, but it's a very similar design where it has the name of the truck with a tiny little cartoon of the van crushing with a lightning bolt. So it's going to look very similar. And that's no coincidence. This is absolutely modeled off this. The story of Rolling Thunder is a very interesting one. There was a investor in Japan who wanted to make monster trucks like a big thing in Japan in the 80s when this truck was still new. And so hired a few different drivers to put their monster trucks on boats and come over to Japan and put on a few shows. They were flops. They didn't draw well because Japan didn't have the same type of car culture in the 80s, and this would have seemed very strange to them. It wasn't a national phenomenon just yet. Monster Jam does very well now on the rare occasion they go to Japan, but it was a different story in the late 80s. And at the end of the tour, the promoter offered all three owners some money to buy their trucks and just keep running them. He wanted to keep promoting. One of the truck drivers said no, brought his truck home. Two of them stayed, and Rolling Thunder was one that stayed in Japan. And it stayed there for a few years until they eventually scrapped it, and it does not exist anymore, which is kind of heartbreaking. The other one was a truck called the Skull Bandit, which still is somewhere in Japan. It's in storage currently. I almost got to see it while I was there because it is, in fact, on Kyushu Island, not far from Fukuoka where I was staying, but the location where it had been on display at the time closed down just a couple months before I went, and all their large display pieces went into storage somewhere, and I was unable to see it. Truly one of the heartbreaks of that trip. Oh, the town name Bigfoot isn't... I didn't get it yet. Shoot me a message, Joey Nails, and I will message you about where that is. But that's Rolling Thunder. Now, what's interesting is I didn't know this, but there actually was a ripoff of this toy that came right after Rolling Thunder went to Japan. In China, a toy making company decided that this was popular enough they wanted to do a knockoff of it. And they didn't have a good name for it, so they wanted to call it Vanessa's because it's a van, Vanessa. And they did make their own little ripoff toy. These are incredibly hard to find, I'm not afraid to tell you. I had to jump through hoops to get this one. It came in two different colors, purple and sort of an orangish yellow. And again, it's that same sort of design. There's a cartoon van, there's a lightning bolt, and the name. And you can see the similarities are not insignificant. It's basically the same toy. These are incredibly hard to find, and I say that all in the service of pointing out that as a diehard collector, yeah, I know, Vanessa. It was a very, very, very. I shudder to say, but sort of an English thing where the joke is great to us, but it must have been really great to them at the time because they went with it for the name. And I do say these are incredibly hard to find. You almost never see them in anyone's collections online. However, I have both versions because I am a diehard collector. One's still in the package. And in this one, you can really see the similarities. I mean, you can see that little van cartoon, the lightning bolts. I mean, it really comes through. And I will say what's interesting, these were made in China. The construction on them is pretty interesting because this one came in rough shape. I had to open it up and fix it. But what's more interesting is when you flip it over and look in the back. Yeah, it's made in China. It might not focus, but these were distributed to the Ames department stores in the 80s from a company in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. So yeah, pretty close to here. But yeah, these are two of the crown jewels of my collection for that specific reason. Now, after those got so popular and sold so well, the Tamiya company, who make model kits, monster trucks of all types. If I trusted my camera not to misbehave, I'd point over to my Clodbuster RC that's just off camera here. That's an old Tamiya model from the 80s. they started making these for their 4-wheel drive Mini series. And what these were literally are, they're just vehicles that don't steer, they don't turn, you can't control them. You either turn them on or turn them off, and then they drive with 4-wheel drive power. You can watch some great videos, just really sort of hypnotic videos on YouTube of people racing these on these special tracks that guide them. Really cool. But I never had one of these model kits as a kid. I had friends who had a couple that were already built, so I never got to see them as the model. And I always wanted them to go with my Bigfoot Hot Wheels Champions. And there was also a series called Tough Tracks that was from Galoob that had a lot of the TNT monster trucks that were sort of the same idea, same scale, 4-wheel drive. You turn them on, you turn them off. That was it. They just drove in a straight line. Awesome for playing with in the sandbox. The number of hours I lost to that is immeasurable, I think. I also wanted to point out for those that want to do the quick math, the price tag is on here for what I paid for this in Japan. That is 1,180 yen, which I want to say comes out to a little less than $7 for a toy I never thought I'd get my hands on. So pretty good deal. I have no complaints. But we're going to open this and we're going to do some building. Before I spread all the parts out, I'm going to bring, I've got a pile of what I'm going to need over here. I've got some gloves because there is some grease that needs to go on some gears. I've got a nice pair of flush cutters, plastic nippers. I've got a X-Acto knife that with any luck I won't need to use. I've got a bad history with those on the channel. I've got this is a spudger. This is essentially you run it along the edge of things, especially plastic, and it will take all the little nubs off. It has a swiveling blade that moves freely, so you can kind of just pull it along a corner, and it'll just peel any bits you don't want away. I've got just a handful of some little bits of some different grades of sandpaper, because I'm a perfectionist. I know it's probably not even necessary for this. And then just a sanding sponge. It has a couple different grades on it. These are fantastic. You can get multi-packs of these at Dollar Tree. There's multi-packs of different grades of sandpaper, like 100 sheets about this size, also at Dollar Tree. You know, I'm not one for spending a whole lot on things like that, so Dollar Tree has been a great resource. Cut away from yourself for the love of Sid. Thank you, Joey Nails. Yeah, Blitzkrieg Pro was doing their first ever stream on Saturday on Twitch, and they got copyright strike and got the thing shut down because they didn't mute the entrance music. I don't need my channel cut down for, you know, cutting or something. All right, so we're gonna finally open this up. I did want to draw a little attention. Almost everything that comes with this is in Japanese, so all of that's going to be very unhelpful to me. But I do love the images where they show how the gearboxes work. You know, some kind of different angles of the truck. It purports to be able to go up a 40-degree incline and run on its side, and you'll see it has some special features for that. I call that the Joey Chitwood. Old school motorsports nerds will get that. All right, so we're gonna open it on up here. Oh man, it's like my childhood. Just having, I don't know if you guys built model kits when you were kids, but it's always just the coolest. We got the body and the windshield here, and I did want to see a bit of a comparison. Yeah, it's basically the same scale as this Gravedigger. Like, I think that it's very close. It might be a tiny bit bigger, but as we go, I'll have some parts to compare. So we're gonna set that to the side. We've got, these are their rims, which also have the if you can see through the plastic, there's teeth on there, and that's how the gears intermesh. Got some of the key components for the drive, our motor, the gears, different axles. There's a little thing of grease and an on-off switch. All right. Decals. Oh, those are beautiful. Yeah, bring those up close. Let everyone get a look at that. Yeah, the camera won't pick this up because it's definitely too small. But there's a little California license plate there that says Vanessa. All right, we got this is your main chassis piece. You got the tires, nice and squishy. We got the big tree with all the main pieces here. And then there's a whole bunch of paperwork that'll do basically no good to me because it's all in Japanese. That's not going to help me. This will help a little bit. Some schematics. You know, a good drawing for how something goes together doesn't really need a lot of explanation. So, yeah, we're gonna keep that out. Let's see, here's some safety warnings that I can't read. Good, 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 good. Oh, they're in English on the other side. Well, I'm not going to worry about that. And then there's a whole bunch of writing on the inside of the box. Important information. Read carefully and fully understand the manufacturer instruction book supplied with this kit. Solid advice. All right. Throw all that out of the way. And now everyone's going to cringe because I'm going to pull out the X-Acto blade because I don't keep a pair of scissors down in the workshop anymore. I should, but none here, and I gotta get all this packaging off of everything. All right, let's do the comparison. Let's see. That's a pretty similar scale. You know, it's only a tiny bit bigger. So yeah, I think it's gonna look pretty good next to the Gravedigger. All right. It's like the least interesting unboxing because you can already see what's inside. All right. Stack up our tires out of the way. Thank you, Nickabeans. Appreciate the encouragement. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, again, I'm not sure how much of this will read on camera, but there's a lot of detail on these little molds. I'm always so impressed with how different mold kits work like this. The use of sprues and you know the way that they have to do it with injection molding. Always really impressive that they can do something with this much detail and not catch a single bubble, no flash, no nothing. It's just, you know, someone who's made a lot of molds for a lot of toys and other things. It's dumbfounding. I don't have a pressure pot or an injection machine, but it's still pretty impressive. Wow. Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna rule. In a perfect world, I might get a little fancy with this, and I might have like some chrome paint and do up some of these pieces, but I'm going to leave them sort of as is, leave them black. I think they're going to look pretty good. Plus, a piece like this is for a different kit. Like some of these are not for this kit. This particular piece, this roll bar, will have nowhere to go because it's a van. It's meant to go in the cab of a truck. So, all right. Is everyone still cringing every time I reach for the X-Acto blade? Is that still terrifying? Wow. Little bitty pieces. A lot of ways this could go wrong. Everyone just tuned in to see if it would all go wrong. Really want Perry to do an intro out of nowhere one of these days, like, what's up, welcome to another unboxing, make sure you smash that. Yeah, I don't know. I probably should do that stuff because, like, there's a reason people do it. It's effective, but I don't know. It's sort of kill the vibe, right? Maybe I'll do it sometime and just claim it's for comedic effect, right? That's how you get away with it. Smash that like Herobotic in the house. Little Bob Ross style build video, bringing everybody in for the night. Okay, and these little pieces I'm leaving sort of in their bags, respectively, so that I don't lose anything. Oh, Herobotic says, no, do it genuinely, but do it in the vibe. Yeah, guys, subscribe, like, insert long, boring story from my childhood here. Yeah, oh, that's going to look nice. Now, there's a part of me that almost thinks I leave the windshield out so I can look inside and see all the moving parts, but it does look really complete when you throw that in there. Man, it's so cool. All right. So that's everything out of there. We're going to start the actual build here. Let's see. Bobby Gilbert, like that smash. Good, good. Nah, you need Delmy to do your intros. Delmy does the outro on the vlog. That's got to be what inspired that comment, right? Yeah, ask for the subscriptions. This is your friendly local producer talking. Thank you, HeroBox. You are local. You're the most local viewer I have. You're the one located the most near to me. Yeah, they do have some painting and stuff marked here in the directions, but I'm not going to be doing any painting. I'm going to leave it all as it came to me. I'm also probably going to hold off on doing the stickers till I'm further along. That all feels mostly unnecessary for where we're at currently in this build. So, all right. It has me starting with putting this guy in here. I'm just double checking. Wow. Yeah, this would be great if it was in English. There's some little guys that are supposed to hold that in place, but it's not those. Not these. Oh, I see. It's these. Two teensy little pieces here that, because nothing's labeled correctly, I'm just having to guess. I'm kind of friendly. I'm in your walls. Yeah, I know. You're all in the walls. Yeah, this is something, whenever you're doing these and you're using the little nippers on the piece, you want to be real careful, because those pieces will just fly off the sprue and you will never see them again. All right. So with these, it's literally just, I don't even think you'll be able to see it. It's so small. A little bitty plastic tube piece. And it's going to go on these little bitty pegs here just to hold that windshield where it's supposed to go. And that's good enough for me. All right. Looking good so far. Yeah, that does hold pretty good. Sorry, I had to knock it around a little. All right. Boy, it has me jumping right into drivetrain stuff, huh? Okay. All right. All right. Oh wow, it's got a whole piece. This is real. This is wow. That is kind of brilliant. So there's this little cup piece here. That again, I'm not sure how clear anything's going to come in, but this little cup piece. They show it here. It doesn't go on the truck. You use it to get the pinion gear set onto the engine. Or the, I guess motor is technically the term I should use. Oh, that is so brilliant. And I guess I can see why, because if I had to push this on here, I'd be putting a lot of pressure on your main drive rod, and that is not good for an electric motor. All right. So let's give it a shot. We're going to drop the pinion gear into the little placement cup, or I'm going to drop it on the floor and lose it forever. You guys, this video might be over. Hang on, please hold. Entertain yourselves. Okay, good news. We're not canceling the stream. Yeah, Joey Nails is going to practice his Type 5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I'm going to do this again, just this time much more carefully. And we're going to just, yeah. Hey, look at that. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, really nice. Love a pressure fit. Hell yeah. All right. One part done, and only a small catastrophe along the way. All right, then it wants me to put the motor into the chassis. Gear through there. Wow. Everything literally a snap fit. God. Man, the Japanese rule. That is not how any of the toy kits worked when I was a kid. They were all a pain in the butt. All right. Tell them getting serious. We're losing the hoodie. All right. Oh, nice. There's a little bit of English on here. They at least label things as orange gear and gray gear. Good. That's helpful. All right. It looks like I need the gearbox cover here. If I didn't have the ability to like sort of pick these parts out just from looking at them and have a basic knowledge of this, this would be so much harder with none of this in English. That's I owe my dad for that. You know, having been raised by a mechanical engineer, I'm lucky that I have a pretty good base knowledge of how moving parts interact with each other. All right, so we want this side where the gears go, and it's the grays on the inside with the little mini pinions pointed out, like so. Wow, and there's little, let's see these little dots here. Again, I'm gonna have to keep holding it up and see. Yeah, these little dots, you can sort of see. It's just got a little spot where it falls in there. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah. It's all coming together. All right. And then there's the orange ones go in, and they also go with the little pinion coming up. They appear to be kind of free there, though. They should want to nubbin in. Oh, there's little rods for them. Okay. All right. Aha. They're in the little bitty parts bag. I'm going to just put these right here. And no one let me lose any of that because it's all teensy tiny little parts. There we go. Walking that fine line, doing the stuff to camera, doing the stuff so I can see, and also doing it so I don't lose anything. There we go. And then these go right on. Ah, oh, nice. God, I can't believe how well they mesh together. Now, is this going to be where it tells me that I need to apply the grease? Wow, it is. Yeah, look at that. Well, okay. Before I do, yeah, that's coming in clear enough. If I turn it, it should all, yeah. All the parts interacting. That's what you want to see. Ha! Outstanding. All right, so it does want me to apply grease here. I hate that it has me doing grease so early on in the build. Terrifying. I hate the idea of getting it on other parts, but it's okay. It does come with this little tube of grease, and you just pop the top off here. Teensy little opening. Very controlled grease usage because this is a one-time use piece. So we're gonna, yeah, you know what? I don't want to do them all by hand. I want to kind of just let it mush in there. Yeah, you're definitely not going to be able to see this because it's very little of it. All right, good. Good. Yeah, get it into all the little meshy areas. Get it on there. A little bit on there. Love the idea of you pulling out a Milwaukee grease gun and covering it. Yeah, I'm down here with a full-on Ugga impact wrench, just going to town on a tiny little toy. The pneumatic whir happening all around me. All right, there's one that's out. I'm sure now with a glove covered in grease, that's going to be super easy to just put right back in, right? Nothing like handling small parts with grease on your hand. All right. That's looking pretty good. That actually worked really well. I know a lot of that was off camera, but I had to get right up on it to see, and I'm pretty sure with the close up, yeah, no real blobs left. It's all kind of pretty evenly spaced out. All right, feeling pretty good about that. And then it wants me to take this piece and put it right over. Yeah, good. Oh, it's got little. Oh, that's so smart. Sorry, I'm marking out for the way this works. It's so smart the way it all clips together. There's these little clippy parts here. Let's see if I can get that on camera. Yeah, there you go. That little clip goes into the little slots on here. So smart. All right, so we get that piece in there, and then those are going to clip in. Oh, you'll love that. Let's go. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, I can lose the glove now. Move the little thing of grease out of the way. All right, so what we've just done is built the entire transmission, essentially, the gearbox. And you can just see that little bit of orange there. That's a little gear sticking out each side. And when these hubs that go in the tire go in, these little gears, because there's little teeth right on the end there. I'm not. Yeah, there it is. You can see it on camera. Those are going to interact with that, and that's going to be how it drives itself. I love the simple design of this thing. It's so cool. So I will say, while I'm building all this, what's great is these kits are all basically identical, save for a couple little things like the body and some decorative parts. So the second kit that I have over here, I'm going to 3D scan so that I can print more of these for myself. The tires will be printed as solid pieces in hard plastic rather than rubber. That doesn't really bother me. I just want working little models, and these little motors you can buy on Amazon. And the little metal rods and everything can be easily made. All these parts can be, you can solder wire instead of using these. So yeah, I'm going to start making a few of my own, but I'm also going to use the body mount system on here that they have that's the same for all the models. I'm going to 3D print for this other kit. I'm going to 3D print a replica of my Volkswagen Rabbit's body, and I'm going to make a little Volkswagen Rabbit monster truck for myself. I think that'll be really cool. All right, looking good there. This is good and assembled. Okay, guys, we're already on to step 5 in this thing. I mean, I still got decals to put on and some decorative bits to put on, but like we're down here, man. All right, and that's making the tires. Oh, I love this. Okay, this is my jam. Like the amount of time I spent as a kid making models of monster trucks, and some of them were ones that ran. Some of them were ones that were just static for display. This one's going to be a little of both. It's going to run, but I'm 40. I'm not going to spend that much time in the sandbox, I don't imagine. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely going to play with this thing once in a while. But it's mostly going to go on a shelf and look very cool next to some of my other trucks. I can't recommend little plastic nippers like this enough. They do a great job of doing a nice flush cut. Yeah, they do a real clean job. I don't even need to sand where I don't know if it'll show on camera, but there's really no nub left where I just cut, and that's great. That saves a lot of time. They're super cheap. I think I got you can sort of see the brand and whatever there. I got like a 8-pack of these on Amazon for like $12 or something, which is good because I lose them all the time. I've broken some. They have free ones of these that come with 3D printers, because they just know if you're 3D printing parts for stuff, a pair of these is going to be very handy. All right. And I'm not one to throw away a lot of these sprue bits and plastic bits because, well, in toy making, you can always use some extra interesting shapes that are already made for you for all kinds of things. I am planning to do a lot more of these IRL streams in the coming weeks and months, because those of us who live in the Northeast know that pro wrestling kind of shuts down for the winter for the most part. It's very hard to reliably have venues, and yeah, as a result, not as many shows running, not as many bookings to be had. But it's a great time to start making new merch, and since I like to sell my own toys of myself, sorry, I keep working just out of camera here. So yeah, this is, I just need to get this set onto its rim, which is slightly more difficult than you might think. But yeah, with wrestling kind of at a standstill from like mid-December through to like, I mean, really in a lot of ways, it's like February is when it really kicks back in. I've got a lot of time to do some design work, and since I have a 3D scanner now, that means I don't have to do all of my design purely in a digital way. And I thought what might be kind of fun for some live streams and for my YouTube channel is to try my hand at something I've not done before. Wow, that's looking nice. Are we getting new Perry and Rip action figs? I don't know about Rip. You know, he's we're kind of doing our own thing currently, but I do own Delmy an action figure, and I've been working on it for a while, so that's probably still coming in the near future. I'm just gonna double check here. Yeah, okay, good. All right. So then there's these little pieces that, again, I don't know that you're going to be able to see all the detail on this, but it does look genuinely like the center hub of what these tires look like on monster trucks. So that's actually what's used in the center of this. It goes on sort of in a decorative way, but I'm not going to leave it out. It looks cool, and it adds some nice contrast in there. Like I'll put one in right now just so we can see. Like, that looks pretty nice. That contrast is really good. But that's going to go in, and it's going to pinch onto the end of the axle when the axle goes in. All right. But yeah, I definitely I'm working on a Delmy figure. I'm going to do an updated Perry. I believe I'm probably doing an updated version of the, you know, I'm doing an updated version of the same Rip figure for Rip. You know, we wanted some changes so that the toys were a little more versatile in how we paint them, and making different varieties. So I'm going to be altering those designs a little bit to hopefully make those a bit cooler. Those shouldn't take too long, which is a big selling point for me because I'm lazy. Now I'm trying to be very, very careful and very mindful about what direction I point the tread of the tires on here, because I want to make sure that once they're on the truck that they're actually going the right direction. They are supposed to go this way. It's sort of like an arrow. It's they are supposed to go that way. So we'll see. We'll see if I got it right. I'd hate to have to take these back off because they're a little stubborn to get on and off. But yeah, so one of the things I'm thinking of trying out on this channel, and you can all be a pretty good test crew for me to pitch this idea to. I've never really done a lot of sculpting by hand. I've done a little bit, like for some special effects things and for some theater stuff. And I sculpted some of the spikes that are on my old entrance vest. But I was thinking it would be pretty cool to do some custom hand sculpting. Sculpting by hand, I should say, for some of the figures. Since I do have a 3D scanner, I could sculpt the figure as I wanted, scan it, and then 3D print the replicas. I think that would be pretty fun, and it would definitely be, you know, like so many. I'm very serious when I say I'll help paint. I'm not above that. Maybe we'll do a group stream sometime. Get everybody together somewhere, and I'll stream everyone painting Perry figures. My minion my minions. Okay, so this one's got to go here. That means this tread has. Let's see. This is going to go like that, and this one has to. I'm doing a little bit of out loud geometry here because I want to make sure again that these treads all point the way I want them to point. Okay, that's what we wanted. The PVV sweatshop. Well, the difference is rather than everyone being underpaid, everyone would just not be paid. Or everyone would be paid by getting to keep one figure. Call it an employee discount. But yeah, with the sculpting, I think that could be a lot of fun because, like so many of my streams here, it could be a massive catastrophe. I don't really know what I'm doing. You know, you'd all get to see me sort of in real time, learning how to make an armature and learning how to work with. I have a bunch of different clays that I've really not played with in a long time. Yes, free Perry figures for the mods. We'll see. I mean, hey, listen. As soon as I have something that I actually need you all to mod for, there's a distinct maybe there. Because it's a lot better than paying anybody. All right, so let's see. I want to go like that. Okay. Sorry, again, making sure these actually point the right way is really hard. Merch idea: unpainted Perrys with some paint and some brushes. Activity pack for the winter months. You know, I do kind of want to do like a Perry coloring book. I think that would be cool to sell. You know, get a little Dollar Tree pack of crayons to go with it. Initially, when I was thinking of that, my whole thought was, wow, you know, there's some great tools in like Canva that can turn pictures into coloring book pages. The only problem is, like, I mentioned that to some other wrestlers, and they kind of got mad at me because it's you know, it's very AI based technology, and they're like, don't use AI, don't use AI. But like, I'm not going to pay anyone to do it, so it's not like I'm taking any money from anybody. You know what I mean? To me, that's where AI becomes a useful tool. Is for something that you would never pay anyone to do. Like, I would have just done it myself, and it would have just been crap. I don't know. Grave says, yes, coloring book. Bobby says, I'm still waiting for my free Perry figure. I never promised you a free Perry figure that I recall. Don't gaslight me into a free toy. Not cool, man. All right. Yeah, all right, cool. So it looks like on the non-geared end, it wants me to attach the axle. So these axles are pretty cool. And again, I think it should show on camera. They're not actually round. They're sort of, let's see. Yeah, they're sort of octagonal. Yeah. Where they have flat sides. Yeah, you can sort of see it in the shimmer there. And that means that, yeah, well, you probably can't quite see it, but the holes here are also octagonal. Octagonal. Which means it won't spin, which means, yeah, there it is. It has control over the wheel. That's what we're looking for. Currently have a friend cartooning me and turning a story of me for my website. Oh, want to turn it into coloring books too? That's awesome. Everybody's saying hi in the chat. Octagonal, that one. Thank you, Herobotic. See, I knew it was that way. It's just my brain was not functioning. All right. So this piece also comes in and is just going to snug right up on that axle. It's a little hard because I have giant hands, so it can be a little difficult to do. Not impossible, though. Gotta want it. All right. That's looking pretty good. That's one. And get the other axle here. I hope everyone's enjoying this because I don't know. It seems like a very silly idea for a stream, but here I am. All right, there we go. We got those started. That's good. All right, and we're flipping over to the other side of the directions. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, hey, we did need more grease. Good to know. All right, I got to flip this bad boy over. Drive wheels go on that side, the others go on this side. Lovely. Oh, and there's some washers, it says. I'm guessing those are on here somewhere. No, maybe they were... Aha! These little guys. Oh, tiny little... That's adorable. Okay. So we're going to slide one on there. Put this through like that. Hey, we're looking pretty good. This might need to be tightened up a little bit on here, I think. If I had to guess. Yeah, these are definitely going to need to be tightened. I wonder if I need to use a hammer for that. I think I'm gonna. Just in case. Everyone hang tight. I'm grabbing a hammer. Let's see. Missed Perry's PC going silly mid-race. Yeah, it was a calamity. Perry, you're actually super relaxing. Hey, I'm glad. We love watching you build things. Well, good news. I've got a lot of stuff to fix. Maybe next week I'll fix that table that's on the floor in the background. I've been meaning to fix that for a while. All right. Sorry to leave you all on your own. I know it's better to... Yeah. It was a whole thing. Mid-race, all of a sudden, my computer decided it didn't like Wreckfest anymore, so I had to abandon the game right in the middle and switch over to Monster Jam. When in doubt, go with Old Reliable. Oh, yeah, that warning for anyone with headphones. I'm using a hammer, so heads up. That's what we need. That's a good positive grab. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, I'll save myself a little time and do this one now. All right, cool. Well, no need for the soft mallet. By the way, tiny little rubber mallets totally have them at Dollar Tree. Guys, I'm not sponsored, but I'd like to be. If anyone knows the higher-ups at that ridiculous chain, let them know. Old Pear Bear really puts them over on the stream when he really doesn't need to. Now he wants me to grease this axle. I don't really know that I'm going to bother with that. I don't think it's super necessary. So I'm going to leave the grease off. I can always add it later because these axles are just wide open on the bottom of the truck, so easily accessible again later. Making sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. All right, we're good. Okay, so need to go with a couple more of these guys. Make sure they're pointed the right way. Yep, want them going in, not out. Oh, they're spacers. Oh, that's lovely. That is a lovely little bit of kit there. Ah, man, these guys really know how to put a model kit together. Oh, I say that as I realize that I missed one. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. Looking pretty good. Yeah. That's what we wanted. All right, now we're going to come on with our drive wheels. It's going to be a very snug fit and get into the gearing. Yeah. You hear that noise? Yeah, that's that gearbox engaging. Hell yeah, that's what we wanted. Now I just got to snug that guy on there, which I know I'm not going to get tight enough with just my hands. I'm going to need to... Yeah, I'm going to need to have a way to push that harder. Because it really doesn't want to get on there. Well, figure that out in a minute. So I'm sending pieces flying. Does everyone still like watching me build stuff? Because this is a mess. All right. This one's also got to go on just right. And engage. Yeah. Ha. I guess you all probably tune in for the chaos, right? Like I have to imagine it's appealing. You know, it really says that I should be able to just push these together, but that's a real tight fit, and it does not want to get as tight as I think it should. Checking to see if I have any useful tools for this. Yeah, that'll do it. Just need to place it on something. Bobby Gilbert says it was a sight. I scared Joey's cat. Well, hey man, you know, why is the cat wearing headphones? All right. You're going to see this from me every so often when I'm building something. I'm going to get up and have to just randomly wander around looking for an object that's just what I need at that moment. I know exactly what would work, but it's way out in my garage, and I'm not leaving all of you on your own that long. That's a danger we don't need to. Okay, you know what? I can push it with my fingers. I can feel it going. Still not quite as much as it should be. How about this one? All right. I need. Aha, that's what I need. Cheat and use something hard like batteries. Kids, don't try this at home. It seems dangerous. Yeah. Ha. Yeah. There we go. Don't try that at home, kids. Just gonna watch the streams regardless of where. Yeah, I can see your fellow performers coming by and going, "What on earth are you watching?" And it's just me doing something dorky. Ah, ha, ha. Success. All right. We've got the main chassis built, and the four-wheel drive is functioning. All right. Oh, now we get to build the battery pack. Ooh, fun. Wait, it's got some other parts that go in here. Oh, these are like decorative bits. All right, I was going to skip parts, you guys. No one was going to stop me? No one was going to tell me that I was skipping part of the directions? All right, it looks like these little parts are... Oh, man, I love... Okay, I'm gonna show what these are once I get them nipped off the sprue here. These are teensy little fake axle housings. Yeah. Little fake axle housings that just slide on and cover those metal axles. Ah, it's so ingenious. Found a way to make something pretty ugly look pretty cool. I love that. I love when there's a piece that's like particularly functional, and it's also like just there for aesthetics. Yeah, that's how that's got to go, right? Yeah. Ha! Now it literally looks like a planetary housing. Oh, I love that. The way they design these is so brilliant, and honestly, like, you know, I'm definitely a novice and amateur toy maker, but when I see stuff like this, it does make me aspire to do a little bit better than I do. It also serves to make me feel like I'm not so good at it, but that's okay. That wasn't their intent. A little bit like anytime Bo Burnham releases anything, I feel like everything I've done is not that great. Let's see. Good luck. All right, so we got our little fake planetaries, little fake axle housings on the chassis. And that is actually everything from that step. All right, we're ready to move on. Now we're building the battery case. So I can set this out of the way. And we are going to need, this is the case for the batteries. Just gonna nip that off the sprue carefully. Finding that safe balance between yammering on so I can hear my own voice, focusing on what I'm doing, moving quickly enough to keep all this moving, and not cutting my fingers off. It's a hard line to walk. All right, we're going to need that guy. And it does appear that if I look carefully enough, these pieces are labeled with little bitty numbers on the sprues, but I've not been bothering with any of that. I mean, it's pretty, when you look at the pieces, you can kind of just tell what everything is. Or at least I can. You know, for some it might be more helpful to actually look for like part names and numbers and what have you. But so far, it's not been an issue for me. All right, we're going to need this guy and this guy. This appears to have been a spare one of those little washers. Nice of them to include that. Okay, and there's this guy. Ooh, the switch. Nice, nice. Oh, I love that. That looks really good. All right, I know I'm keeping a lot of things off of the screen. What Perry was saying. What was I saying about myself? I'm sure it was something self-deprecating. That tends to be my my way. All right, so set that about there. Pop it into place here. Ah, haha. Oh, that is such a nice connection. Man, I really am just thoroughly impressed by the way these kits go together. You can get these online in America. I believe you have to go to eBay, and they're definitely a bit pricier, but I mean, these are beautiful little pieces of kit. Really, really nice. All right. So I need this guy to go here. Again, not all this is going to be super visible. I don't know that all that much has been all that visible to you guys, but I appreciate you hanging with me anyway. It was. Yeah, of course it was. Well, I say a lot of things about myself, but I can't claim to not know myself, I guess, because I knew it would have been self-deprecating. I also knew that you'd yell at me for it. Not saying I didn't deserve it. All right, that's in place. Yeah, some of these are a little bit tricky, so they're going to be extra hard to get on camera, but not impossible. All right, that's going to go in there, which means this is going to slide in. Oh, that connection's so good. So good. Oh, man. Yep. Yeah, it's very humbling to see the work of like actual professionals. All right. Let's go ahead and it has me putting the batteries in now, so at some point we're just going to straight up see if this works, I guess. The negative back here, going to go right there. Good. That means positive's going to go there, and that's going to go in there. And then there's a little cover here. But just, yeah, look at that. Pretty slick. Oh, yeah, yeah. Everyone last night was exchanging blue skies to make sure that everyone was able to find each other. Okay. Now we're going to... Okay, good, good. Okay, we're going to attach this so that it can come down and power this thing, I guess. See, make sure it's switched to the off position so I don't mess anything up here. This is the part that's particularly nerve-wracking because this is where a lot of things could go wrong and I could break something. Okay, that goes there, which means this has to go Oh, is that gonna contact? Just making sure that my metal pieces do in fact make contact here. Aha. A little note here. Bend outward. Okay, well, nothing to it but to do it, I guess. Alright, with any luck that makes contact, and if it does... Oh. Let's see which side's on, which side's off. That's off, that's on. Aha. Okay, nothing yet. And I believe that's where it should work, which is not a great sign. Oh, wait. Do I have a battery that's not in all the way? Kind of looks it. Well, let's see. I should be able to see if that motor was making contact. Well, yeah, one of these batteries is definitely not fully engaged, I don't think. It feels like the switch is pretty loose, too. Oh, that's all right. It's the way they have the connection happening here did seem a little bit iffy to me. Did I find the first thing that they did wrong in their build? Or did I do something wrong in their build? Seems more likely that I did something wrong, but... Alright, and the contacts are on that end. Still waiting for you to follow me, Perry. Oh, over on Blue Sky? I've been very slow with the follows over there, and I will get there. I assure you. Okay, good. Aha. There's the piece that's got it stuck. There we go. That's what I needed. Alright, now let's just get a look here at what's connecting or not connecting. That piece? Oh, it might be. Okay. This is one of the nice things about building these things yourself is you get a good visual on what's going on, and you can see if something's incorrect. Alright. It also could be that my batteries are dead for all I know. I think I've got another pack over here though, just in case. Aha, that's what I needed. Yep, that's going to be the difference maker. Okay. Yeah, there was one simple thing going on, and I think that's it. Yep, I'm still convinced this is probably fine. Alright, back on with all the clips and everything. All right, we're going to drop that in. Same way we did before, just this time it's going to work. Growing my producer's following. Good, love to see it. Doom 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 doom. All right, it's gonna go there. It's gonna go there. Good. All right, that's what we needed. Okay, looking good. Aha! Success. There we go. And it is, of course, going the opposite direction of the direction. Oh, wait, no, those treads are going the right way. We're good. We're good. Disaster averted. We have a working model. All right. Bobby Gilbert says, wow, you're almost finished with it. Yeah, or wait, or are you talking to Graves about being almost finished with Blue Sky? I think I followed everyone. Yep, you finished Blue Sky. That's the kind of dumb joke that's probably just for me. All right. Now it's got a bunch of accessory pieces we're going to add on before this thing's finished. So let's go ahead and clip everything off of here. And we're going to see. This might have been for a different model now that I look at it. All right. Like I said, a lot of these pieces are in fact for different models. All right. That one. That's going to look really nice. Got these little headlight pieces that do in fact look really good on there. Oh man. Yeah, again, in another life, I would chrome these up real nice. And who knows, I may, they do just pop right back off. So I may chrome them up later. Who knows? I might get ambitious. I know, I'm very silly. I saw it in the chat. I think everyone involved on this stream is silly. It's not just me. I know you meant the model, Bobby. All right, got the little side steps. I'm a little torn about putting the wheelie bar on. It's nice because it means it doesn't roll over, but it doesn't look sort of classic monster truck, but it is a classic part of the toy. You know, I guess I end up hitting the point. Do I want this to be canonically the toy from the 80s, or do I want it to be canonically classic monster truck? That's a tough call. Tough call. All right, and then there's, yeah, we'll come back and get those little bits in a second. All right, so yeah, I guess I don't mind putting the body on. Now, you know what? We're gonna put all these accessories in the truck aside. We're gonna clip the last bits out of here, and then we're gonna get the stickers on there, because when this thing actually comes to life and I let it drive for the first time, I want it to look like the finished piece. So I don't want to get ahead of it. It looks so good. Like I'm just looking at it sitting in front of me. It looks so good. It's not even done, and it looks amazing. I'm so excited. This is, again, I can't stress enough. This is one of the toys that I wanted when I was a kid, but they were not easy to find. They were, you know, sort of like hobby stores would be where you would find them. Keep all my little bits and bobs together here out of the way. Probably don't need the hammer anymore. I think the X-Acto knife has outlived its usefulness on this build. Didn't end up needing any of the sandpaper. That's good. The grease, I'm going to go ahead and stick in a little baggie here so it doesn't get all over my fingers. This is how I do basically everything in life. I do a lot of cleaning as I go. Often, if I'm the one cooking, there's really no cleanup to do after the fact because I kind of clean as I go. That's where my particular brand of OCD lands me. All right. So yeah, we're gonna do these. We're gonna do these stickers. I am gonna cheat and use the little guide, even though I don't really need the guide per se. Um, and again, I could, some of this would look really nice painted and chromed. Some of it would look good painted in black. Paint the, and I may do that in a future video. I may take some time and actually get all the little details done on here. Take the windshield back out and paint up the little grill that goes at the base here. Maybe in a future video. That's not for today. All right, I'm gonna start with the little one here, and I am glad that these are just stickers and not actual decals, because I didn't have the patience for those when I was a kid, and I sure don't now. All right. Again, a lot of those are blurry. Camera's not going to focus that well, but some of it's for me, some of it's for you. See, I can read some of these. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so on the back there's a little sticker that says service to Inglewood, Hermosa Beach, LA International, Signal Hill. So this is definitely a ripoff of the Rolling Thunder then, because he was from Redondo Beach, California, and there were a lot of silly little California references all over it. So yeah, I am definitely going to do every one of these dumb little stickers on the back here, because I think it's really cool. Oh, so sick. Yeah, I mark out for a lot of things on these streams and on my channel, but monster truck toy from my childhood that I never got to have, but I get to have now. Pretty rad. All right, yeah, oh, the little license plate. Love it. God, these details are so cool. Nice. It's looking good. Okay. This one goes right at the bottom there. Yeah, and like I said, I may well come back and end up doing some of the detail painting on here. I don't think it's totally necessary, because it just looks cool as is. But I'm willing to squeeze every bit of content out of this purchase as I can. I mean, it was almost $7. That's it. I still also kind of can't believe how completely affordable this is, given everything that comes with it. All right, got our little sticker there with the truck, with presumably that's Vanessa coming out of the truck. I wonder if it'll focus better. Hard to say. We'll get the other view of it after. All right, I want to get my placement here very careful. Comes right up and off of there. Oh, that's too high. That's the spot. Yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, let's go. Looks so good. Oh, man. Sorry. I'm such a freaking nerd. Wild designs for big wheels. Call owner Vanessa. Call today. California, Vanessa, Lunchbox, service to Inglewood, Hermosa Beach, LA International, and Signal Hill. Man. Oh wait, forgot the big nameplate. Can't skip that. I have the Aquabats stuck in my head. So, you know, which I'm sure surprises everyone. It doesn't sound like me. All right. It's going to be same story as the other side. Oh, which is interesting. The mold on this side is actually a little bit different. Oh, that's a nice little detail. So I don't know. Again, I'm going to have to look and see how much it's going to read on camera. So on this side, it's the flat panel side of the van. And on this side, they have the slider doors molded into it, which was throwing me off when I was putting the sticker on. I thought I was doing it wrong because it looked different. All right. Get the big nameplate on up here. Yeah, but what do you guys think? Is that something you would watch if I was doing my first ever attempts at sculpting to do some toy designs? Would you guys tune in for some clay sculpting? Or is that where I've finally gone too far and it's too nerdy? Bobby says yes. Thanks, Bobby. All right. Got the sides all done here. Graves is in for that. Glad to hear it. Good. All right, let's see. And then we got one more that goes on the top right here along the back that says Lunchbox, burgers, dogs, and soft drinks. I'm trying a bunch of things to see if I can get this to ever focus. Yeah, no luck. Well, you'll have to take my word for it, guys. It looks fantastic. Maybe I'll take some nice pictures of this and throw it up on the old Instagram so that everyone can see what the final product looked like. Oh, that's so good. Ah, so excited. Man. Hell yeah. All right. Now we can flip back and we can actually put the body onto our chassis here. I'm just going to check one more time and make sure. Okay, good. That is forward. That's what we wanted. All right, looking good. And it gets held on by these guys, these little step side pieces. That just, yeah, it looks like they just snap right on. God, I love that. That's such a great design because then you can snap them back off and replace the battery. They really did think it through. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking good. All right. And I do think I'm going to do the wheelie bar because why not? I don't think it hurts anything to throw it on there. And that goes together like that. It's a tight fit, which is good. That's how you know it'll hold together. Yeah, good. And then it looks like, yeah, it just squeezes right in there. Oh, that's really nifty. Man, everything about this is so well designed. Ha! Yeah, actually, you know what? I don't think that wheelie bar is too intrusive on the look. I actually think that's kind of nice. It doesn't really affect its profile. It looks like a tow hitch. Nice. It does have a little thing there, so it does look like you could put like a wheel on it if you wanted. But I think it looks good like it is. Yeah. And then, this is the nifty little trick. These little guys, these little kind of look like a top. These clip on in here, and they sort of have their own special trick. You know, you can take them right back off, but if I clip a couple of them on here, what this does is it allows the truck to drive on its side. So you can kind of set it up on its side and it doesn't fully tip over. Not sure if yeah, the other camera view will get it better. I'm gonna switch to the IRL cam for just a sec. Yeah, you can see it just sits on the side without rolling, and that means you can let it drive on its side without tipping. Pretty nifty. All right, let's back to the bench top. So still got to put 2 more in, and then we're gonna give it its maiden voyage, and then compare it to some of these other trucks that are of similar scale. I think they look pretty neat, and when you want, you can take them off so that it looks more, you know, it'll look a little bit more traditional monster truck. You can, yeah, they just pop right back off, and it looks a little bit more. Yeah, I think when I'm displaying it, I'd display it like this, but for the sake of letting it do a few tricks on the old bench top here, I'm going to put those on. But no glue, no screws, and it just goes together. How slick is that? Really happy with how that looks. Wow, the tilt up is really nice for that bench top view. But yeah, like I said, if we want to compare it, it's pretty similar to Gravedigger here. Like the sizing is very, very similar. And the Bigfoot is definitely going to be a bit chunkier and a little bit bigger, but I mean, truth be told, you know, they're kind of the same length, very similar height. So I love how that works. Like it's gonna, I mean, to set them all with each other, they're gonna look really nice on a shelf together. Like that's gonna be a good little display going on. Like that's pretty fantastic. I'm pretty psyched with how that looks. All right, but I'm gonna move Gravedigger out of the way. I'm gonna get these tools out of the way here. Spare batteries out of the way. Sandpaper gone. Clear everything. Water bottle. Trash. Everything out of the way. Because this thing's got to do a little bit of driving. And it doesn't need that much in its way. So we'll get Bigfoot out of the way too. And let's see, is my switch is on the front. So yo, let's go. That thing hauls. And it definitely does. It'll do the Sidewinder. Pretty sure it'll go, yep, in a wheelie. Yo, that thing, like, okay, I know I'm like 40, but that's pretty sick. But I mean, that can't be all we do with it, right? Hang tight a sec. Yeah, I guess that'll work. Might work. We'll see. We'll see. Me and my silly little ideas. Because I do have this old snap type model of a police car from when I was a kid, and I do kind of want to see if it'll get up and over it. Ha! Yeah. We'll get a different angle of that in a sec. I'll swap to the IRL cam. 30, and I still get excited about wrestling figures. Hey, you know, toys are the best, man. You know, like, I mean, it was a pile of parts a little while ago. I mean, come on. I could do this all night. This is literally what it was like when I was a kid playing in the sandbox. So yeah, that's the assembly on that. I'm going to once again say that I do have a second one of these models, and the plan with this is that I'm going to try to scan all the parts from this so that I can print more of them, and I can make more of these without having to order them from Japan. But specifically with this one, what I have in mind is printing a VW Rabbit pickup body like mine to go on this. And as you saw, the mounting system is real simple, so it should be able pretty easily to recreate that. Bobby's figure promotion had a dream match. What was the dream match? I'm interested. But yeah, I mean, I imagine, I haven't opened this up to look. And I'm going to switch us back to the bench top for just a sec here. I imagine this is going to be very similar, yeah, to this other one, with the difference being it has a little red truck body. Even the hubs are yellow, just like the other kit. They don't even change the colors. But yeah, it's all the exact same parts. So I think if I can get a good 3D rendering of this from my scanner, I should be able to print kind of an indefinite amount of these and just order the little motors off of Amazon and the little battery packs. Because those they sell for little maker kits for kids, or 40-year-olds, as it were. All right, set this out of the way. Dale Earnhardt Jr. versus The Rock. That's a weird. There's a lot going on in that idea. But yeah, so that was my build on Vanessa's Lunchbox, and now that it's built, I can put it next to some of its. You can definitely see it's 100% meant to look like these, which is so cool, and it has such a weird history that it came to be this way. I do know that Terry Woodcock of Freedom Racing out in California is working on building a replica of the original Rolling Thunder. That's going to be really cool. I hope that actually happens. It's been in the works for a long time. So yeah, I think that's everything I had to do down here. We looked at Toxie, we looked at toys, we talked about the history of these. That's going to be it for this stream. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely one of the sillier, weirder ideas that I had, and pretty cool to recapture a toy from my childhood that I always wanted, and I saw a lot of friends had. And it looks so cool. It looks so great, and it runs so well. I'm really happy with that. A toy that I didn't think existed anymore, and then there I am in Japan, and I just stumbled on it in a store. $7, and I was able to pick up 2 of them. I wish I'd gotten more. They had probably 8, 9, or 10 different versions of it. Yeah, just so cool. Anyhow, thank you all for hanging out. That's going to be it for this week's streams. I'm going to be back next Monday and Tuesday. Maybe we'll be back down in the workshop. Maybe we'll be back up playing some games. I don't really know. I haven't thought that far ahead. But anyhow, have a good rest of your week. Hopefully I'll have another vlog episode out soon. And yeah, keep your eyes on that. I'll see you next week.